Submerge yourself in orange wholesomeness. Tiancha, kumquat for the soul.
Organic! All pleasure from all foods. Provides 330% of recommended daily vitamin. Yo, my chewers, shroomers, and fumers, Mr. Whitey here. Drop that milk toast kibble and rush to the nearest store for a taste of sweet, clean speed. Cause life is too short to be slow.
Night City. You are now tuned in to The Hub, your place for the latest news from around the world.
Around the world.
Keeping you in the loop with all matters globally. Broadcasting live every day from downtown Night City. Introducing your three fantastic hosts, Haruto Takamoto, Ursula Becker, and last but certainly not least, Babatunde Afolabi. Now, are you ready to be informed?
Oh, yes, we are.
We hope so. Let's start the show in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello ladies and gentlemen. I am Haruto Takamoto.
I am Ursula Becker.
And I am Babatunde Afolabi. And you are now listening to The Hub. Haruto is busting out the moves in the studio right now.
I really like this song.
I wish everyone could see this.
Right?
I think we should start the show before we get fired.
Yeah, I have rent due next week, so that would be the last thing I want.
Alright, I will stop now.
Before we jump into the news, we gotta say big thanks to Kiroshi Optics for sponsoring our show.
Ah, Kiroshi. They're the best in the business.
I have a set of brand new Century Optics, and when I tell you, I can see a cockroach in Watson, all the way from the Badlands.
I believe there is some special opportunity for our listeners.
That's right. You can get a special discount at your local Ripperdoc by getting in touch with us. We'll send you a voucher shard to get 15% off your next Kiroshi Optic implant.
Now, I think it's time for a quick run-through of the global weather. Babatunde, I think it's your turn this time.
You never forget, Haruto, even the smallest things. That's what I like about you. Okay, let me do the weather at least, before I get carried away. Starting with North America, the East Coast in particular, Atlanta and Washington are enjoying pleasant weather with temperatures remaining steady at 24 degrees Celsius or 76 degrees Fahrenheit with a 7% chance of rain over the next few hours. Moving south, the Republic of Texas is battling a bad wave of sandstorms with winds exceeding 45 miles per hour in some areas. Temperatures are hot with averages of 33 degrees Celsius or 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Moving on now to South America, where flooding still rages on in Brazil, with very heavy showers persisting over the next couple of days. Temperatures have been warm at 29 degrees Celsius or 85 degrees Fahrenheit. In Europe, temperatures are cold all round, starting with the United Kingdom, where London is having overcast weather with 6 degrees Celsius or 42 degrees Fahrenheit. The flooding disaster in Benelux remains with high warnings for flooding risk and temperatures of 9 degrees Celsius or 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Moving down to Africa, weather remains warm across the New Africa Alliance with temperatures reaching 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit with a high UV index. Parts of North Africa, especially Egypt, are experiencing sandstorms and dust with hot temperatures rising above 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Onto Asia now, where China is dealing with very heavy smog in urban areas with temperatures around 13 degrees Celsius or 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Tokyo has been wet with rain and drizzle expected over the next week, with temperatures estimated to drop to 11 degrees Celsius or 52 degrees Fahrenheit. In Oceania, Australia has been experiencing extreme heat with warnings to residents to stay indoors and avoid areas such as the outback. Temperatures are expected to remain above 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, that was your global weather report. Back now to Ursula for the next segment of The Hub.
Right, now before we get into the heavier topics of our show, we like to begin on a high note. It's time for Wonderful World, the segment where we cover some feel-good stories from around the globe. Starting us off, in Nairobi, a man known locally as Mr. Bird has been awarded with an Animal Conservation Award after he alone saved Kenya's national bird, the lilac-breasted roller, from going extinct. Mr. Bird began by turning his farmland into a sanctuary for the birds away from the rapid urban development in Nairobi. The native birds' population fell rapidly in the early 2060s after an increase in air and space travel by orbital air, with an estimated figure of only 20,000 wild lilac-breasted rollers left in the capital. Since Mr. Bird's efforts over the past 10 years, the population has gradually returned to its original size. Now next up, a group of scientists from Berlin have successfully created a new implant that, guess what? Makes music sound better? Yep. Scientists from Klangberg Audio have discovered a way to retrigger the same signal that gets sent to your brain when you hear a really good song for the first time. This basically means you'll never get sick or tired of a song no matter how much you play it. Although, there is one side effect. Unfortunately, you won't be able to remember any lyrics or melody once the song is done. I think it's a fair exchange. Finally, in Ireland, a massive statue of a local favourite has been erected in the southern town of Dingle. Fungi the dolphin first appeared in the bay nearly 100 years ago now and quickly became a favourite amongst the people of Dingle. He became a vital piece of evidence for the research of animal behaviour and intelligence, as he was apparently very charismatic and had some level of awareness. Since then, Fungi has long passed, but his spirit lives on in the town with this giant 150-foot tall bronze statue of Fungi the dolphin, commissioned by artist Rory Fagan. Right, thanks for listening to Wonderful World. I'm going to pass it over to you, Haruto, for the last segment before the ad break.
Thank you, Ursula. Next on The Hub, it's time for Fan Alert, the segment where we'll cover sports and athletics news from around the world. Let's get started with combat soccer, where Arasaka Sakuras began their league campaign with a decisive victory over Orb Air Flyers in a 3-0 win to the Sakuras after Hiroki Nakamura opened up the scoring early into the first half. We've got Tony Winchester out in Tokyo to give us a summary of how the game unfolded.
Well, it was quite the spectacle here in Tokyo, with the Arasaka Sakuras dominating the field right from the start. When only 15 minutes in, Shinji Otomoro placed a delightful ball into the box, only to find the foot of none other than Hiroki Nakamura, who safely dispatched it into the top corner past the Orb Air keeper, Samuel Ryder. No less than 5 minutes later, Nakamura scored a fabulous free kick from 25 yards out, taking a deflection off the wall and sending the keeper the opposite way. The second half began slow until the Flyers suffered from a devastating blow after their left back, Robbie Michaels, unfortunately flatlined due to a system collapse. Then finally, as if he couldn't get any better, Nakamura again found himself in acres of space in the box and chipped the goalkeeper cool as you like. The Sakuras secure themselves at the top of the table after this fabulous 3-0 win. Back to you.
The Flyers will face Militech Rangers in their next game away in Washington, D.C. The Rangers have been under scrutiny after they have allegedly been caught overclocking their players' cyberware beyond league specifications. Moving on to basketball now, where the Night City Blackouts losing streak continues. They faced the Toronto Falcons in the North American Championship, where they lost 69 points to 3 after their captain, Dante Gonzalez, had to be dismissed due to violent behavior. The Blackouts are set to play against the New York Executioners next week. Lastly, in other sports, India has defeated Pakistan in their yearly Cyber Cricket Grand Slam. Pakistan started off strong until 4 of their best players had to be rushed to hospital after they began to have seizures on the field. The game continued, and India managed to turn things around with their star player, Ishan Kishan, getting 77 off just 40 balls. The Pakistan Cricket Association are claiming India hired net runners to take out the players, while the Indian Association are strongly disagreeing, stating that it's down to cheap black market cyberware used by the Pakistan team. A thorough investigation is being conducted by the WCA. Thank you for listening to Fan Alert. Babatunde has a quick few words before we go to the advertisement break.
Thank you, Haruto. Now before we run to the ads, we have a special competition for you, our listeners. Would you fancy a luxurious weekend stay in the fabulous Konpeki Plaza completely for free? We've teamed up to give you an opportunity to experience the big leagues. All you have to do is answer this very simple question. Kerry Eurodyne is known for being a famous rock star, but which band did he play with before he went solo? Is it A. Ninja, B. Samurai, or C. Geisha? Please text or call in with your answer, and after the break, we'll pick a lucky listener. That's all for the first half of the show. We'll be right back very soon after this.
Submerge yourself in orange wholesomeness. Tiancha, kumquat for the soul.
Organic! All pleasure from all foods. Provides 330% of recommended daily vitamin. Yo, 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 my chewers, shroomers, and fumers, Mr. Whitey here. Drop that milk toast kibble and rush to the nearest store for a taste of sweet, 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 clean speed. Cause life is too short to be slow.
Hello, all our beautiful listeners, and welcome back to The Hub. Before the break, Babatunde opened up the lines for our enticing competition, where you could be enjoying a lovely weekend at the famous Konpeki Plaza. Babatunde, have we found our winner yet?
Yep, I believe so. Monica has called in to give her answer. Monica, are you there?
Hi guys, huge fan of the show. The answer is B. Samurai.
Yes, that is correct. You're on your way to Konpeki. Congratulations. How do you feel, Monica?
Oh wow, I'm feeling great, Babatunde. Thank you so much. God is good.
Congratulations, Monica. We really hope you have a fantastic time. Haruto, Babatunde, have you guys ever stayed in Konpeki Plaza?
I only went once, not as a guest. It was for a job interview. Clearly one I didn't get has ended up on this show. Man, life would have been so much different.
I'm afraid the eddies in my bank won't allow such a thing. Ursula, have you ever had the chance to stay in Konpeki?
I've never had the opportunity, but I'd love to someday. Shall we get started?
Yeah.
Want to start us off, Haruto?
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
Starting with some disturbing news from Brazil, in particular Sao Paulo, where authorities have discovered a mass-scale black market organ cloning operation in the Vila Nova favela. 15 individuals have been detained after a raid conducted by the Brazilian Federal Police, where they found close to 300 synthetically cloned organs designated to be sold on the black market. Authorities are pleading for any information from the locals of Vila Nova. It's estimated that the criminal operation lasted nearly 6 months before they were eventually caught.
How did they get away with this for so long?
According to the local authorities, the residents of the area began reporting a strong foul smell from one of the buildings in the vicinity.
If I'm not mistaken, this isn't the first time this has happened in Brazil.
That's right. Back in 2072, a similar situation occurred in Rio de Janeiro when an Arasaka Special Forces unit tasked with finding an infamous terrorist cell discovered an underground network of tunnels used in the production and harvesting of organs.
What the hell are these people doing? Can you not get a normal job?
Moving on to India, where residents of Mumbai have taken to the streets in protest against the Maharashtra state government. Over 100,000 people were falsely flagged as high risk after the state's new AI security system. Raksha incorrectly designated citizens as criminals in its first run of tests. All individuals affected by this malfunction were terminated from their jobs and evicted from their homes due to India's zero-tolerance law. Guys, what do you think about this situation?
It's a disgrace, Ursula.
Right.
Governments should thoroughly test these AI in controlled environments before they release it to the public.
You're right, Babatunde. These things are incredibly powerful and must be investigated for any possible defects or malfunctions before they introduce it to the citizens.
Yep. I believe we have our correspondent, Raj Kiran, on the line for an update on the protests occurring in India. Raj, can you hear us?
I can barely hear you guys as the crowd is becoming very vocal about their disdain for the government-controlled AI Raksha after it flagged over 100,000 people as criminals, which led to mass evictions and job terminations. The citizens of Mumbai took to the streets early this morning and have remained into the night, causing huge interruptions to traffic and public transport. The government has warned that deadly force may be used to disband the protesters if necessary.
Thanks, Raj. Very interesting.
Indeed. Now moving over to Europe, where we have some breaking news. An AV carrying French artist, Pierre Dupont, has crashed in Vinante, a rural town on the outskirts of Paris. Witnesses describe seeing the AV lose altitude and exploding in a field just outside of the town. Pierre Dupont, a controversial figure in France, was destined to open up his new exhibition in Paris, Contre les Suisses, or Against the Suits, where his art featured corporation figureheads being beheaded by the guillotine. An investigation is still being conducted with no confirmation about the status of Dupont.
I think that just about does it for time on this episode of The Hub. We want to say a big thanks to you, our listeners, for tuning in. We hope you have been informed. I've been Ursula Becker.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Haruto Takamoto.
And I have been Babatunde Afolabi. And thank you for listening to
The Hub.
Submerge yourself in orange wholesomeness. Tiancha, kumquat for the soul.
Organic! All pleasure from all foods. Provides 330% of recommended daily vitamin. Yo, 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 my chewers, shroomers, and fumers, Mr. Whitey here. Drop that milk toast kibble and rush to the nearest store for a taste of sweet, 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 clean speed. Cause life is too short to be slow.